Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So, a lot of people hit me up. They ask, hey, what is your secret to making serious money? And I tell them the truth, the raw, unfiltered truth, but nobody ever believes me. They think there is some magic formula, some secret stock tip, some crypto coin that'll moon overnight. Nah, it is way more boring than that. And today, we're going to talk about something even more boring, even more painful, but absolutely crucial for anyone who wants to actually build lasting wealth. We're talking about burnout, baby. Yeah, I know, snooze fest, right? But trust me on this, if you're feeling like your brain's running on empty, like absolutely no amount of triple shot espresso can fix that soul. Crushing fatigue, then you, my friend, are right where you need to be. Because this isn't just about feeling tired. This is about your life, your money, your future. I've been there. Oh man, have I been there. Endless hours glued to a screen, chasing deadlines, always feeling like I'm one step behind. It is like being on a treadmill set to maximum speed. You're running, sweating, but you're going nowhere fast. And let me tell you, burnout is no joke. It is not some abstract concept found in self-help books. It is a real tangible threat to your financial health, to your mental health, to your very existence. DIT is that insidious creeping feeling that slowly drains every ounce of joy, every spark of motivation, every bit of your ambition, and before you know it, you're just a zombie, a shell of your former self, working to pay bills, living for the weekend, hating every single minute of it. But here is the kicker. It doesn't have to control your life. No, we're not about that life here. Today, we're breaking down what burnout really is, why it is a silent wealth killer, why it sneaks up on us like a ninja in the night, and most importantly, how we, the financially intelligent, the anti-over transactors, can fight back, and not just fight back, but actually use this understanding to propel us towards true financial freedom. So, let's jump right into the deep end. Burnout, it often feels like a slow burn, a tiny flicker that you barely notice at first. You brush it off, you say, oh, I'm just tired, I need more coffee, I need a vacation. But before you know, that flicker turns into a raging inferno, and your brain and body are completely fried, cooked, toast. It is like having 100 employees, each one demanding your attention, each one draining your resources. And you, the CEO of your own life, are trying to manage them all with no breaks, no support, just pure grit. And, let's be real, grit only gets you so far before you snap. So why does this happen? Why do so many of us fall into this trap? Well, for starters, it is usually due to a few key factors. And if you're feeling burnt out, it is absolutely crucial to pinpoint what is causing it in your life. Because you can't fix a problem if you don't even know what the problem is, right? It is like trying to navigate a maze blindfolded. Good luck with that. So check if any of these sound familiar, especially at your job. First one, high workload and unrealistic expectations. Ever feel like your to-do list just never ends? Like no matter how much you accomplish, there is always more, always another fire to put out, always another email, another meeting, another urgent task that absolutely, positively has to be done yesterday. That, my friends, is prime burnout bait right there. It is the corporate equivalent of being stuck in a hamster wheel, running, but never actually getting anywhere. And sometimes, working too hard is a real thing. It is not a badge of honor. It is a sign that something is fundamentally broken. You need to take breaks to be the most effective, to be the most productive, to be the most human. And here is a radical idea. Work with your managers, have an adult conversation, lay the groundwork for realistic expectations. And if they don't agree, if they scoff, if they tell you that is just straight up, leave them. Yeah, I said it. Leave them. Your time, your energy, your mental health, those are non-negotiable assets. They are worth more than any paycheck, any promotion, any company loyalty. Because every hour you spend burnt out and miserable is an hour you're literally selling your life for less than it is worth. And let's talk about the actual cost of that. Imagine your life. Let's say you have 3,000 hours of productive time in a year, just a ballpark figure. If you're constantly burnt out, how much of that time are you actually productive? How much of that time are you truly engaged, truly creative? Probably a tiny fraction, right? The rest is just wasted. Wasted on stress, wasted on exhaustion, wasted on feeling utterly drained. That is your life cost. Your 3,000 hours are being devalued because you're allowing yourself to be burnt out. That is a terrible return on investment, folks. Terrible, another classic one. Lack of control over your work. Oh, this one gets me every time. It is always frustrating when you have little say in what you do or how you do it. Managers just push work onto us. They delegate without any real consideration for our bandwidth, our skills, our passions. This lack of autonomy, this feeling of being a cog in a giant machine, it can make even the smallest task feel like a huge burden. It is like being told to paint a masterpiece, but you're only allowed to use a toothbrush, and you can't even pick the colors. This is one part of corporate life that kind of sucks. Frankly, you can't really choose what you want to work on, and that is a real wear and tear on your soul. There have been so many times in my life where I get assigned a project that I just can't stand. A project that feels like a pointless exercise in bureaucracy. A project that literally makes my eyes glaze over. And yet, I am forced to do it. I have to pretend to be excited about it. I have to put on a happy face. And guess what? That is a direct route to burnout, a superhighway to exhaustion. It is like having an employee who hates their job. They're going to do the bare minimum. They're going to be inefficient. They're going to be miserable. And that is exactly what you become when you're forced to do work. You despise last point, inadequate support, or recognition. We all need to feel valued, right? It is a fundamental human need. When hard work goes unnoticed, when your efforts are taken for granted, it can really take a toll on your motivation. It is like pouring your heart and soul into a project, staying up late, sacrificing your weekends, only to have it barely acknowledged, or worse, completely ignored. Lack of pay, lack of promotion. Those are surefire ways to have demotivated employees. And guess what? You are your most important employee. I've definitely been there. Late nights, feeling completely overwhelmed, questioning why I'm even doing this, wondering why I didn't get that promotion, why someone else, who clearly did less, got ahead, or wondering why I'm even working on certain things, why I'm dedicating my precious life force to something that feels so utterly meaningless. It is a vicious cycle that affects not just your productivity, but your overall mental and physical health too. Being burnt out has many negative consequences. For me personally, I become an overall just worse person. I'm bad at my work. I'm angrier with everyone. I'm more prone to engaging in destructive behaviors. It is like my inner jerk takes over, and I'm just snapping at people, being impatient, being completely unproductive. Burnout doesn't just mess with your work. Oh no, it is far more insidious than that. It seeps into every part of your life. It is like a black ink stain spreading across a pristine white canvas. It can lead to anxiety, constant worry, that gnawing feeling in your stomach, irritability, snapping at loved ones, being short-tempered, feeling like everyone is just getting on your nerves, even physical symptoms, like headaches, constant nagging headaches that just won't quit, or fatigue, that deep, bone-weary exhaustion that sleep can't even fix. For me, it is the lack of motivation that hits hardest. You just start questioning everything, your purpose, your choices, your very existence, and it is really tough to get back on track. It is like trying to climb a mountain when you're already at rock bottom. But here is the good news. There are ways to overcome it. There are ways to reclaim your life. When I feel burnout creeping in, that familiar darkness starting to settle, I always try to pinpoint why. I become a detective in my own life, searching for clues, trying to understand the root cause, and this is the crucial part, I take action to fix it. Because awareness without action is just procrastination in disguise. Right, so let's talk about some of the stuff I do to reduce burnout at work, and more importantly, in life first, for a demanding job, the importance of hobbies. This might sound counterintuitive, like, I'm burnt out, I barely have time to breathe. Now you want me to pick up a hobby, but hear me out. This is gold. One of the best ways to combat burnout is to find something that lets you mentally escape, something that is completely unrelated to your work, something that lights you up, that makes you forget about deadlines and demanding bosses. Believe it or not, these are called hobbies. For me, it is things like making videos, like this one. It is a creative outlet, a way to connect with you guys. Playing video games. Yeah, I'm a 25-year-old, I still love my games. It is pure escapism, pure fun, going outside, just getting some fresh air, taking a walk, appreciating the simple beauty of nature, picking up a new sport, something that challenges me physically, that forces me to focus on something other than work. Fantasy football. Yeah, I'm a nerd. I love my stats. It is a fun distraction, a social thing, drinking some bottles of water. Hydration is key. Folks, seriously, it is amazing what a little water can do for your brain. They help me really disconnect from work and recharge my mental batteries. It is like plugging yourself into a different outlet, getting a fresh surge of energy. If you haven't found a hobby that clicks with you yet, I really recommend just trying a bunch of things. Don't overthink it. It doesn't even have to be something big, something elaborate, something expensive, just something that makes you happy, something that helps you unwind, something that takes your mind off the grind, because every time you engage in a hobby, you're not just having fun, you're investing in your mental capital, you're increasing your resilience, you're building a buffer against the inevitable stresses of life. Another powerful tool against burnout, physical activity. I know. You've heard this a million times. Your grandma told you, your doctor told you, your gym teacher told you, but trust me, exercise works wonders for your mental health. It is like a magic pill for stress, for anxiety, for that feeling of being completely overwhelmed. If I start to feel that familiar creep of burnout, I always ask myself, when's the last time I've worked out? And if it has been a while, probably means it is time to go get a little sweaty, time to move my body, time to try and shake that burnout off. For me, it is all about keeping it simple. I'm not trying to become an Olympic athlete here, A quick walk around the block, some light stretching in my living room, or hitting the gym and lifting some weights for a bit. It is not about being a fitness guru, and my current beard belly can definitely tell you that, but it is about giving your mind and body a much-needed break from the grind. Physical activity, after all, is scientifically proven to help with your health, both physically and mentally. It releases those feel-good hormones. It clears your head. It gives you a sense of accomplishment. And here is my tough love advice. Force yourself to do it. Don't be soft. Even if your schedule's tight, even if you feel like you have absolutely no time, taking little walks, little breaks, just 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, can make a huge difference. It is like compounding interest for your well-being. Tiny, consistent efforts lead to massive returns. Burnout can also be combated by surrounding yourself with positive, supportive people. This is huge. Absolutely massive. It is easy to get caught up in the negativity of work, especially if you're feeling drained, especially if you're surrounded by complainers, but having a good support network at home or with friends, or even with a few trusted colleagues, can really lift your spirits. It is like having a team of cheerleaders in your corner, rooting for you, picking you up when you're down. I've found that spending time with people who make me laugh, who genuinely listen, who actually care, that can turn a rough day around. They are absolutely invaluable in life. These are the people who remind you of your worth, who make you feel seen, who make you feel understood. If you're struggling, don't hesitate to lean on friends, family, or even colleagues who you trust. Go give yourself a break and have fun once in a while. Seriously, life's too short to be miserable all the time. And here is a financial perspective on this. Your network is your net worth. And I'm not just talking about professional contacts here. I'm talking about your emotional network, your support system, because when you're mentally strong, when you're emotionally resilient, you're better equipped to make smart financial decisions. You're less likely to make impulsive choices driven by stress or desperation. Now, if your burnout is work-related and persistent, like it has been going on for months, maybe even years, it might be time to consider some bigger changes, some bolder moves. Sometimes, switching teams within your company can give you the fresh start you need. Without the hassle and stress of leaving an entire job, it is like a mini reset button, a change of scenery, a new set of challenges, new people. It can work wonders. But if that doesn't cut it, if you're still feeling that soul-crushing dread every morning, it might be time to move to a new company entirely. Yeah, I know, scary thought, right? Jumping ship, venturing into the unknown. It is a tough decision, and I've been there myself, wrestling with that internal debate. Wondering, should I stick it out? Should I endure? Should I just keep my head down and hope things get better? Or should I start fresh? Should I take that leap of faith? Should I prioritize my well-being over a steady paycheck? My advice, and this is coming from personal experience. From the school of hard knocks, if you don't like the team you're on, if you don't like the company mission, if you feel overworked, underappreciated for a long period of time, and I mean a truly long period of time, not just a bad week or a bad month, then tidy up that resume, polish it until it shines, and get to work. It never hurts to switch. It never hurts to explore your options.